I recently had someone who he kept saying to me, well, I guess you're glad to be back in Europe now, when I would share a story about being in Asia or the Middle East. But it wasn't necessarily sad stories. It was just explaining differences in culture. And it was as if, perhaps to that person, these cultures seemed inferior or less than, and I wouldn't want to be there. But I did. I loved the people and the communities that I met in places like Southeast Asia and in the Middle East. My heart is with those in Lebanon who have gone through disaster continually. My heart is with my friends in Iraq and the people that I've met in Thailand and Sri Lanka and Malaysia. And for me to come to Europe wasn't necessarily about abandoning those places, never returning to those places. For me, it was just a new chapter. It was something that I'm exploring differently. I don't know that I'm attached to place, but I am attached to how we culture ourselves to work together as communities in a way that I don't often see in the West. I believe that in the Western world, imperialism and individualism can be incredibly destructive. That doesn't mean that I don't believe in the power of an individual or the power of one person within ourselves. I absolutely believe in those things. But I think what has happened is the commercialization and the industrialization of the South and the West has created an imperialistic and empire state of mind in which people don't understand the function that unity is community. It's been forgotten. It's been forgotten. And so because of that, we are having ideological warfare on simple things like maintaining the health and wealth of our bodies over a pandemic. And we're having ideological warfare over the fact that the idea that what is often, how do I want to put this? What is often assigned as the tribalism of other countries or the tribalism of other places or what's considered third world is happening in the United States and in the Western world among majority white spaces, but happening in spaces of all people because there is so much heartache and so much pain that people can't find common ground and instead attack one another, instead harm one another, instead make presumptions about another person without ever diving deep. And it's damaging. It's damaging our way forward. It's not helping us create a space of healing and justice in our way forward. It's okay to have differences in opinion. Not everybody is going to be the same. But can we manage to be able to find common ground where we can treat each other with a sense of love and respect? You know, Dr. Ramani Durvasula, who is an amazing, fantastic psychiatrist in the mental health world, has talked about the fact that narcissism, she considers it an epidemic in our modern times. And I don't disagree with her, but I would add one word to that. I would say it's an epidemic in our Western world far more than it is in other places. The human condition likes to be in control of the narrative. And in the West, we see it far more grotesquely than we do anywhere else. Yes, even in a place like Iraq where there was war. Because at the end of the day, you see even people who have been subjected to war want to find a space of peace and laughter amongst each other. When they realize that it's not us versus them, but it's us versus the problem. I know I've rambled a bit here. Maybe some of these thoughts are scattered, and sometimes I think I'm a far better writer than I'm a speaker. But these are just some things to think about in how we relate to one another and how we have conversations around everything from social justice issues to economic injustices to political injustices. We just need to find a better way forward, you know? And our elections in the US are coming up soon. So let's keep in mind the kind of culture that we want to create. Because if the culture is war and power and asserting rightness, then we're going to have 4 more years of the same. But if our goal is to have unity and a collective work into what is going to create a better way forward, then we have to make a change. For now, I'll leave you there. Let me know if you guys have questions. Put your thoughts, your comments below. I'm happy to converse, and I hope you have an incredible day. May you live and move, and have your being. Cheers.